Will you please welcome Mr. Reginald D. Hunter? Good to have you with us.
Thank you very much.
Nice to have you here. Before we start, what's the D stand for?
My middle initial. My middle name.
It's not Dizzy by any chance, is it?
No. My alter ego. No, my middle name is Darnell.
Darnell.
Yep.
So, but why do you stick with the D? Was there a Reginald Hunter already in show business, or you just like the
No, my mother was a real stickler about that. I was born in the late 60s, and that time in America, it looked like opportunities were happening for black people. So there's a lot of black men my name with names like Reginald and Winston.
Kind of business-sounding names.
Yeah. Names that could help you get past the application process if it was over the phone.
And the D just gives it more kind of gravitas, I guess.
Well, my mother, like I said, I came home with papers to sign, like kids do, you know, sign your test papers. And if I didn't put my Reginald D. Hunter, she wouldn't sign them. Yeah. And so it was her thing. And
so it's stuck. Is she still around, your mum?
She checked out about 5-6 years ago.
I'm sorry to hear that.
It's all right. Yeah.
Did she see you kind of make a name for yourself in comedy? Did she know this was happening for you?
No. She didn't go on the internet. She didn't approve of anything outside of hard Christian work. The first decent money I got, I bought her a massive TV. And she looked at it and she said, so what you gonna do when you run out of jokes?
You know, I've been asked that question many times. OK, so you've just come back from Australia, from the Sydney Comedy Festival. How was that for you? Was that a successful trip? You enjoy it there? Did you like Australia?
I like Australia. The most chilled-out white people I've ever seen. It's like white Jamaica. And just none of that Western tension, and nobody pretending like they smarter than they are, or trying to quote The Guardian to you, nothing like that. They're just people. They're just people.
But those traits you mentioned there, they're kind of very British traits. People, they're not the same in America, I guess, are they?
No, I like Britain because the debate, and people do love being smart and sounding smart, and not, you know, and just in America, we don't really debate. I mean, we do a little bit, but then somebody brings up Jesus, and that's a wrap, you know.
Yeah. That's like the top trump, isn't it?
That's like it. Just, I brought up Jesus first. I win. You know?
But you must be, being an outsider over there, to an extent, even though you live here now, you're kind of an outsider here, I guess. I suppose you still look at us with American eyes.
Yeah, but I mean, like, I grew up as an outsider back home because I spoke grammatically correct English. And so, but at least here it makes sense to be an outsider, you know. I wasn't born here, and it's part of the attraction. Every day somebody says something or does something. I didn't know what a pantomime was before I came over here. Yeah. You know, I never knew what Marmite was, and just, I never knew what a life with lacking optimism was until I came over here.
Well, I'm going to skip over the third one because I take that as a personal slight. But the first two, have you developed a love for pantomime, and where do you stand on Marmite?
I'm still baffled by pantomime.
What is it about pantomime that you don't get? Because it's a very British thing, isn't it?
Well, it's not the kids. I get the kids being into it. If I was a kid, I would have been like, hey, it's behind you. I'd have been into that, too. But it's the adults who just get all misty-eyed and just, oh!
Well, it's a memory for us.
Yeah, it was just, you know, you had a sad childhood. I
mean... Where did you come from in America? We've talked about you in America. It was the South, was it?
It still is.
Well,
I'm from,
they haven't disowned you. Where in the South is it? I've travelled a bit in America. I've been to some other places. Which part?
I'm from Georgia. Okay. The first state you hit when you go north of Florida.
Yeah.
And born in a place called Albany, Georgia. It's all right. Not too much happens. Hot in the summer, cold in the winter. That's about it. Yeah. And I left. I lived in Atlanta for a lot of years, and came to Britain a few years, you know, late in my 20s.
And what prompted the move? Why did you want to come here from there? Because, you know, a lot of us, we look at America and just for the weather, we think that's a great place to be.
Yeah. Well, when I was a kid, my sister, she did a co-op. She came over to Britain. I was about 7 or 8, and she came back, and she just told me these fantastic stories. You know, the police don't have guns, it rains all the time, they have tiny refrigerators. And as a child, I was like, wow, I want to see that. And that just kind of stuck with me. And just, I had reached a place when I was ready to get out of Georgia. And I thought, I'm going to come to England and see what that's like.
How old were you when you came over?
27.
So old enough to know what the differences were by then, but it still must have seemed a drastically different environment.
Well, know the differences. I've seen some British movies.
Yeah.
I've seen, My Fair Lady and all of that, and Chitty Chitty Bang Bang,
Were you hoping to see some flying cars when you came?
I was expecting people to break in song and stuff, and talk with that Eliza Doolittle accent and everything.
Did you start in comedy straight away? Did you come here to do comedy? Were you doing comedy in America before you came here?
No, I wasn't. I came here to study acting, and just thinking that if I got trained by the British, that might buy me 5 extra minutes in New York or L.A. And I got here, and it was a dumb thing in the end choosing to do classical acting.
Yeah.
I mean, I went to auditions, and they look at me and go, "We're not doing Othello this year," and so it's like I couldn't get no work. So, but I mean, it was exciting because every day. And plus, there are people here who are not just British, from all over the world. And I was running into a mix of people that I never could have dreamed of in Georgia. So it's like just the enticement of the social aspect. And plus, women dressed up like hookers on the weekend and they got drunk. I was like, I'm staying, man.
But it must have been, you must have had some lady action in Georgia before you came here, or
some lady action?
Yeah, a little bit of lady action. It wasn't just here.
Well, I mean, I did all right for myself. Nothing that I want to boast about on national TV.
Okay. But are the British women very different? And how do Australian women compare to British women and vice versa? I'm assuming while you were in Sydney, you had some lady action.
I met some.
Yeah.
I find that American women, in my experience, have been very direct. They're very direct. They're very concerned about your potential future earning income potential. And British women, I find that if they like you, they could be a lawyer, you could be a construction worker, but if they like you, they just like you.
That's a nice thing.
And Australian women, you just got to say hello.
I wouldn't be surprised if we see that quote on the Qantas posters next week. Come to Australia, you just got to say hello. That's it. I'm going. So what do you want to do? If you're not crazy about some of the TV you see here, do you want to work on TV more? Do you like doing other people's shows? Would you like to do a whole stand-up show, a series of yourself on TV? Is that what you're aiming for, or do you want to keep it live?
I mean, I always want to keep it live. I mean, that's what I'm committed to. I have a couple of projects I'd like to do, but I mean, I need more room than TV is able to allow at the moment. And not just, standards and practice-wise, but even financially. Every time I presented a script to anybody, they look at me and they go, "Oh, this looks expensive." And it's like, okay, that's the fast track to know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'd like to be a part of something cutting edge. I like to have something that has a brain in it, and and just it's considering people beyond just looking good. And
but you're talking about acting here then? I
do some acting, yeah. I mean, I like to do that. I mean, I like acting, but I love stand-up. Yeah. So for me to do any acting, it won't be just to further my image or something like that. Yeah. It has to be a project that I believe in, and I want to be a part of that. You want to care about something in that regard.
Are you a good actor, do you think?
I believe I'm good. Yeah. I went to RADA for a strong minute, and then after that, I haven't acted for a while, but I believe I can get my chops back.
It's like riding a bike.
Sure.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Do you sing? Do you dance? Can you do that sort of stuff? Did they teach you all that at RADA?
Yeah, they did.
Were you any good at that?
When I'm really stoned, I'm great at all of that.
And when you say you're really stoned, do you enjoy relaxing in the evening?
No, I like to stay stiff as possible in the evening.
Reginald, you're touring at the moment? Are you about to go on tour?
I start touring on Sunday. 55 dates. I'm proud to say that I'm touring with Steve Hughes, one of the 3 or 4 finest stand-ups in the world, I think. And
is it got a title this time? Because some of your tours have had somewhat edgy titles, deliberately so. This one is just called Reginald D. Hunter Live on Tour.
Well, that's the official name, because some places won't let you book with what you really want. The actual real name of the show is Trophy Nigga. And apparently some places have a problem with the word trophy.
It's very nice to have you, Reginald. I'm going to come and see the tour. How long are you on stage for?
I'm doing anywhere between 50 minutes and an hour 15.
That's good. Well, that's good. It's not too long.
No, I mean, you gotta let the folk,
No, don't you hate it when you go and see someone, they're going for too long?
I have hated that unless they were extraordinarily good. And, you know, I haven't seen that for a strong minute.
Yeah.
So...
I like this strong minute phrase. A strong minute means a long time, doesn't it?
Yeah, well, long, but not so long. A strong minute.
A strong
like
minute.
if you went out with a woman for just 3 months, that's a strong minute.
Yeah. Great to see you here. Reginald D. Hunter is on tour, ladies and gentlemen. I think you'll agree, a very funny man. Reginald, thanks for coming here. Mr. Reginald D. Hunter. I don't know why I gave you so much. It's great to meet you. Thank you for coming on. Reginald D. Hunter, ladies and gentlemen.